dive into authentic conversations about ourselves and our community, exploring topics that uplift and inspire us, from personal growth to social change. So grab your teacup and get ready to join the conversation. Why you in love so desperately and really wanted a real relationship if you only wanted one? I don't understand that. Like, anybody that's ever had a one night stand, a fling, they're not usually desperately in love and wanting a real long-term relationship. It may happen like that, but initially, if you only wanted a one night stand, that's usually what the feelings are. Anyway, Johnson said Jane Doe. Okay, Johnson said Jane Doe says Combs paid her rent for a house where she lived with her kids, and also she tried to resist the freak offs. The rapper would threaten to no longer financially support her. Well, okay, you done took a house from Diddy. He paid all your bills, and you did it with your kids. What do you think that Diddy, you know what I'm saying, is going to expect for you to be doing? Everything that he requires of you while he's paying your rent for you and your children. If it's a freak off, why are you trying to act brand new to it after you had already alluded to it to get the house for you and your kids? Like, the defense is gonna eat them up with this is nothing. Like, what is this? This ain't no sex trafficking. What you talking about? You are accepting real that are substantial to survival. Not like a ring or a car. A house? You took a whole house from Diddy and he sex trafficked you. How? Diddy is coming out of the jail, and I'm not going to have to be under the bed. I mean, if Diddy's guilty, of course, I want the justice system to prevail. But this is crazy. And they had an argument where he placed her in a chokehold, lifted her by the neck, and kicked her to the ground. Damn. How strong is these people? She's slamming Diddy's head on the counter, and then he is putting her in chokeholds, lifting her by her neck and kicking her to, that's some goddamn Street Fighter shit there. Diddy pulling goddamn Tekken moves. That's a Tekken move. That's a Tekken video game. Girl, hold on, let me take a sip of this. I am parched. Hold on. He kicked her to the ground. He then allegedly continued to punch, kick, drag her by the hair, and slap her face before making her cover her black eye and have SCX with an escort. Girl, Lord Jesus. Y'all doing a lot for Negroes to buy y'all houses and, you know what I'm saying, be out in the limelight. Y'all going through a lot. That's a lot. First, okay. All in the same moment, right? You get in an argument. You get put in a chokehold. You get lifted up by your neck, kicked to the ground, punch, kick, drug by your hair, and slapped in your face. Then you go cover up the black eye and have sex with an escort all in the same moment. That's a lot. Like, girl, y'all give it a great, like, you know what I'm saying, cover for a sex trafficking situation, but the him buying you a house and you live it with your kids shit, that's not being sex trafficked, baby. Okay, that's some shit you took from a motherfucker that could financially provide for you. You took it under whatever the cost was, apparently. Moving on. Prosecutors say Ventura fined, forced into freak offs control her career. Johnson described one instance in 2009 where Combs allegedly threw Ventura on the floor of the SUV and stomped repeatedly on her face. Ooh, y'all going through a lot. Y'all going through a lot. She will testify about another instance when she said Combs allegedly forced another escort to urinate in her mouth. Did y'all just hear what the tea was? Did y'all just sip this tea? Sip this. Johnson, who is somebody that was involved in the freak offs, right? Described one instance when Combs allegedly threw Cassie on the floor of an SUV, stomped her face repeatedly. She will testify about another instance when she said Combs allegedly tried to force another escort to urinate in her mouth. Y'all are doing the fucking most. Like, if that's your tea, sip your tea, but if this is all under duress and y'all are, you know what I'm saying, just being forced, girl, jump out of a window. What is y'all sitting around waiting on? Death? Y'all sitting around waiting on a nigga kill you? Because that's what's going to happen. Y'all better stop sitting around because it's a house, because it's a car, because it's a mink coat, because it's a bracelet, because it's clicks and views, because it's in the limelight on a red carpet, and get out there and live a real life before you be dead and have other, sad life. Y'all out here stupid. Ventura Fine entered the first freak off reluctantly, but she loved Combs and wanted to make him happy. Johnson continued. The prosecutor said the defendant beat her viciously, whether she was taking too long in the bathroom. Y'all getting beat up, or taking too long in restrooms, or missed his phone call, or left a freak off early. Fuck your kids. You got to keep doing what you're doing at the freak off. But tell your mama to pick them kids up. You better not act like you want to get up off of this. Y'all are dealing with this. I can't with y'all. I'm done with y'all. And then y'all be wondering why it be hard for us to defend you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, other women want to ban for you. We women, of course we do. But when it's the level of this, like, what is y'all doing? Why are y'all doing that? Y'all getting y'all teeth kicked out of y'all mouth for being in the bathroom taking a pee too long while y'all doing a freak off. I'm done with you. Combs would threaten to release videos of her with dozens and dozens of male escorts, Johnson said. He had the power to ruin her life. Ventura was 19 when she first met Combs. He was 17 years older than her. Y'all 19 getting slutted out like that. 19 years old. 19 years old. And look at it like, and I feel sorry for Cassie. Do not get me wrong. I'm not victim shaming. I feel sorry for her. I do. Okay. Cassie went with Diddy. Diddy pursued Cassie and she went. Cassie had a boyfriend when she met Diddy. Diddy told her he would give her a 10 record deal or some shit like that. And she got up from Lil Buddy and got on Big Daddy Diddy and became his girlfriend. Like, okay, I'm weeping for her that he did her like this. But like his lawyers are saying, you had a choice. Diddy. Cassie has more, what do you call it, y'all? Reach than most women do. Cassie was already a musician that was popping. You see what I'm saying? I don't really know. She had the one little cute song. I liked it. Um, you know, but she had more reach in life than most girls, right? Like, where was her family? Where was somebody that cared for this baby? Where? This is insane. Prosecutors have said she promised see her a 10 album deal, and although she recorded music constantly, he always had a final say on which music she was able to release. Well, I mean, if you sign a deal with the devil when you could have took a little longer of a way, it may not have been exactly a 10 album deal with Diddy, but you know what I'm saying? You could have been independent. Maybe we would have heard your music if you would have been independent, or you know what I'm saying, somebody with a less of a reach, a management company as Diddy. But was it doing you like Diddy? You probably would have been top right now. Like you could have maybe potentially have been a top recording musician right now. You don't know. You don't fucking know. But you decided to strike a deal with the devil and you got burned, is what it sounded like to us. Her livelihood and safety depending on keeping the defendant happy. Oh, Johnson said. The prosecution said Combs and Cass, I'd have blew Diddy's brains out the back of his skull. I ain't even gonna hold you. But not for nothing. Like, girl, gone. That level of abuse, what other alternative do you have? But anyway, the prosecution said Combs and Cassie were unfaithful and jealous, but only one had power. Prosecutors preview degree of alleged violence. As the government began laying out their argument, Johnson painted Combs as a public icon and a private monster. Describing one violent episode, Johnson said Combs broke into the house of a man who was seeing that would be Kid Cudi, with a gun and a bodyguard with intent to kill. While no one was home, Combs later found Ventura and beat her brutally, flinging her around like a rag doll, she argued, because she tried to leave Diddy. And she got as far as King Cudi's Cudi's house. And allegedly, Kid Cudi was also a person that engaged in freak-offs with Diddy and Cassie. That's how she ended up getting involved with Kid Cudi, with his freaky dicky ass. Right? That's how she got finagled up with Kid Cudi. Diddy searched out Kid Cudi and brought him into the freak-offs. So Cassie thought, oh, he must have hit a nerve in that coochie and made her think that he was somebody that, you know what I'm saying, she could maybe double back around to in the event Diddy put his foot off in her ass too far one time. And so she started up a little secret relationship with Kid Cudi and almost got both of them killed. I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying what happened. Okay. Referencing the alleged freak-offs, Johnson said Combs forced Ventura Fine to have sex on camera with male escorts and kept the tapes as blackmail. The videos, Johnson said, are for Ventura Fine, Cassie, souvenirs of the most humiliating nights of her life. I hope they have them. This would be Diddy's family walking into the courthouse. That would be Diddy's family here. Okay. So, excuse me, hold on. Excuse me. Jury prepares to hear at length about the freak-offs. Prosecutors told jurors to expect to see videos of Combs' alleged freak-offs. Highly coordinated, sometimes days-long sexual. Woo, y'all in for a ride this summer. Girl, the goddamn jury chair is gonna be soaking wet by the time they get up from there. Watching all that orange. They'll be watching all that orange this summer down to the courthouse. Courthouse gonna be leaking wet. You're gonna be able to swim in the courtroom to Diddy them in. Like what? Hour, days long sexual performances. Now, I don't give a fuck who you are as a grown person. You cannot resist, you know what I'm saying, the pleasures of the flesh. Okay, so don't act like I don't care about the grandma sitting in there or the goddamn deli maker, sandwich maker in there. Asses is gonna be wet in there. It's gonna be real moist situations down to the courthouse this summer. God damn it, watching all that sex. Not for nothing. So the freak-offs, which officials have said were fueled by illicit substances and featured male escorts, were used in part to blackmail his ex-girlfriend, Cassie. Combs used lies, drug threats, and violence to force the accusers to have sex in front of male escorts. Johnson told the court. She said the incidents often lasted multiple days and with multiple escorts, and sometimes forced them to travel out of the state. That's what they're trying to get him on the prostitution, trafficking, prostitution things. She repeatedly said Combs directed everything and frequently had staff on hand to replenish lubricant, linens, and drugs for the women and himself. Just oh, Jesus, Lord have mercy. A Sodom and Gomorrah situation down to Diddy's house. Just nastiness, just lubricants. And I remember sipping tea with y'all on a live from TMZ talking about it. It was somebody up there talking about, somebody from the hotel talking about, or somebody that worked for Diddy also talking about how nasty it would be. Girl, they just have bloody towels and bloody linens and urine and feces and excrements and our girl. And he has to go in there and clean it up. As well as cash for the escorts. He fed them drugs such as MDMA so they could stay awake and perform for him for hours and days on end. Johnson said she also told the court he often masturbated throughout the freak-offs, girl. Yeah, I mean, hell, Diddy, he can't just perform like he used to when he was in his 20s. You got to sit down and do something different. With his sorry draws, girl. Okay, let me stay on topic. Ventura Fine is one of two accusers who formed the government, key witnesses, and are expected to describe the freak-offs in details. This is long. As opening arguments kick off, Cassie video takes center stage. As opening statements kicked off, a 2016 video released by CNN appeared to show. Okay, we read all of that. Took center stage. The hotel video. Prosecutors revealed they plan to show footage of the altercation, though not the video released by CNN. But rather their own compilation of clips in a recording made by a hotel. What? See, I had sipped that tea. Somebody was standing around recording him beat Cassie's ass like that. Who? A hotel employee, but it's like, what the fuck? Y'all know y'all wrong. But anyway, lawyers for the government told the jury that Cassie knew that Combs' inner circle worked hard to conceal the video, paying one security guard $100,000 cash in a brown paper bag in exchange for their cooperation. I mean, I can't put a price tag on somebody's life. But yeah. He did, and took $100,000. So, Diddy's cultural icon, private villain, prosecutors say. Johnson said in her opening statement that Combs ran a 2-decade criminal conspiracy with the help of the inner circle of bodyguards and high-ranking employees. So that would be where the racketeering and conspiracies may try to come into effect at, right? What do you guys think will be the racketeering and conspiracy charges of like racketeering and conspiring what? Is it ass? Is it people? Drugs? We'll have to see. To the public, he was Puffy, Puff Daddy or Diddy. A cultural icon, a businessman, a larger than life. But there was another side of him, a side that ran a criminal enterprise. During this trial, you're going to hear about 20 years of the defendant's crimes, Johnson said. Girl, it's gonna get so good. It's gonna get so good. She hit back at the defense's team expected argument that accusations against Combs are government intrusion into the private and consenting sexual life of an adult. Hey, no, let daddy get that food out the microwave. Thank you. Okay, this case is not about a celebrity's private sexual preferences, she told the jury, arguing it was instead about coercive and criminal behavior. Dun, 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 dun. For 20 years, the defendant, with the help of his inner circle, committed crime after crime, she argued. As Combs' fortune and fame grew, he expected to be treated like a king, Johnson said, and got everything he wanted, whether it was more drugs to fuel a freak off or women who would be immediately available to him. Previewing, and I'm gonna sip some tea. I'm gonna spill some tea, okay? I do believe that there is jealousy here. Somebody living a billionaire lifestyle, lots of people envy that life. Lots of people. Wow, most of us are, oh my God, like if I lose my job, I'll lose my house. Diddy got resources and reach in life to where, you know, he's not living like that. He's living by the seat of his drawers. Okay. If he wearing any, doing anything and everything that he wants available to him in life, which is anything and everything. So yeah, people are jealous of that. A lot of people are envious of the lifestyles of millionaires. Okay. So previewing an exceptionally violent trial, she argued that Combs kidnapped an employee multiple times, set a man's car on fire, Kid Cudi. He kidnapped an employee multiple times. Lord have mercy. Who was that, Biggie? Who he kidnapped, y'all? Mary J, was it? Goddamn Stevie J. Little Kim's ass. Who he kidnapped? He set a man's car on fire and dangled a woman over a balcony. Now, was it a woman or a man? I heard he dangled Wale over a balcony. I don't know about no woman. I heard it was Wale. I used to really like Wale's music. Anywho, because he thought Wale was looking at Cassie a little too hard, and he picked him up and tried to drop him over a balcony. Moving on. Cam's defense lawyer are expected to argue that the sexual activity described by prosecutors was consensual and say there was nothing illegal about a swinger's lifestyle in which Combs and his girlfriends occasionally brought a third person into their relationship. There were no third, about 4, 5 people, 10, 20 people in there. Stop lying. It's like a little zoo in there. We know what you had going on. Smell like the goddamn monkeys at the zoo in there. Probably about 20, 30 niggas in there butt naked in there. We brought a woman in and shut up. Men, women, and supposedly Usher and them was in there. Usher and Bieber. Combs' children turned out to support him as trial begins. Members of Combs' family turned out to court for the stay of his sex crimes trial. The embattled music mogul's mother, Janice Combs, and girl, we hear she a funky one, was spotted arriving at the courthouse on May 12th, as were his children, Quincy Brown. Quincy Brown is not his son, but we're going to keep on reading. Justin Combs, Christian Combs, Chance Combs, Delilah Combs, and Jesse Combs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe 5 of these kids belong to Kim Porter. Justin and Christian Combs, I believe, do. Delilah and Jessie are the twin girls, right? I don't know who Chance is, but I think that they're all Kim Porter's kids. And look at Miss Kim Porter dead in the ground. And that's allegedly surrounding Diddy's ass. Girl, go. Combs' children have continued to stand by their father as he faced allegations of sexual abuse. They said in a statement released last year, "We stand united, supporting you every step of the way," his children say. So what's next? Now that the panel of 12 jurors and 6 alternates are finalized, opening statements by the government and then the defense have started today, y'all. May 12th. The prosecution will call its first witness. They did today. Over the course of a 2-month trial, jurors are expected to hear testimony from 3 and possibly 4 of the rapper's female accusers, as well as his former employees, who prosecutors say helped arrange and cover up his actions. Diddy's lawyers accuse prosecutors of bias against Black jurors. Okay, we already know all of that, and I'm getting a little paused. And let's listen to this, though. Let's listen to this. That's this shit.
I got the
damn it, didn't nobody ask you to put no ad up there.
will be full of shocking and salacious. The Sean Diddy Combs trial has begun here at U.S. District Court. The music mobile
Girl, is it gonna play or what?
faces charges of sex trafficking.
What they got going on?
Transportation to engage in prostitution, as well as racketeering. The trial will be full of shocking and salacious allegations. Mr. Combs has pleaded not guilty, but how strong is the case against him? Here's what we know now.
Combs' defense has basically been arguing that he's not guilty and saying that these relationships were consensual, that this is essentially a swingers lifestyle, that people go to these parties by their own accord and engaged in this behavior. That will play a lot into the kinds of questions that the potential jurors get over the next few days. They're expected to bring in as many as 150 people. Potential jurors will each be interviewed one by one in the courtroom. It's expected to take about 20 minutes. Expected to be asked about everything from their views on.
Okay, y'all, we passed all of that. So we are wrapping up the first day of Diddy trials. First day of Diddy trials. How do you guys feel? We've sipped all the tea we could possibly sip today. I hope you guys are full. I will be back. If not tomorrow, definitely Wednesday when they get up and rolling, looking to have Cassie Ventura Fine on the witness stand to testify about Diddy. Okay, in the meantime, I want all of you guys to be safe and keep sipping your tea and be blessed. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Please remember to like and subscribe. I am almost at 1,000 subscribers. I've only been back up on YouTube for 3.5 weeks. We're going on a month today, y'all. And I'm very, 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 very thankful that I'm getting, the support of all my tea sippers. So thank you, sippers. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Remember to show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing. It's a blessing. Keep your teacups filled and ready for my next upload. Until then, stay inspired and remember, always stay sipping.